Good afternoon. We are Santiago, Téllez, and Lina Jiménez. We will talk about Italy, about the Venice Carnival. The most important festivities in Italy are based on such ancient historical roots that many are the inherents of a pagan folklore that later the Christian traditions adopt to unify rites and religiosity. In this case, I'm going to tell you about the Venice Carnival. This carnival is one of the most famous in the world. It's the most popular festival in the city and dates back to 11th century, although it was not declared festival until to 13th century. The Venice Carnival reached its peak in the 18th century, a time when some aristocrats came to the festival from very different places, and the most normal thing was that the princes and nobles escaped to enjoy the event. It was promoted by Vitali Falia with the reason that such festivals were to be a tribute to the need by Serenissima government to grant a brief period dedicated to Paris and entertainment to its citizens, specifically from lower social classes. Through masks and costumes, it was possible to hide one's identity. The canceling out social, sexual, and religious divisions. Everyone had fun together and they could exit without consequences. For that reason, the nobility took advantage of the time to hide behind the mask and mix among the people. Also, in the occupation of the Napoleonic era, the carnival was prohibited for fear of conspiracies against its leader, although it was recovered until the end of the 19th century and 1979 it was officially declared a festival. Um, in 1608, accordance with a strong increase in masked people for much of the year. In 1608, a decree obligates the citizens of Venice to wear masks only during Carnival, with penalties of up to years in prison. It was also forbidden outside of Carnival to use drums before noon and dance of any kind.
In 1703, as many Venetian nobles went to gambling in disguise, so as not to be recognized by their creditors. In 1703, another law prohibited mass in gambling houses. The carnival is totally different from the Spanish image, and much more from the Brazilian one, during the 10 days, and the people dress up and go out to walk and take photos, either in organized or improvised parades. Taking into account that Venice is very close to the Alps and that carnival takes place at the beginning of the year, between the end of January and the middle of February, depending on the year. It is advisable to wear warm clothes. It is very common for it to snow, so it is a good idea to pack warm clothes in your suitcase. Their clothing is characterized by being inspired by the 18th century clothing, with colorful, sensual, and bright costumes always of an aristocratic character and the mascara nobile above, which is a white mask with black silk clothing and three-pointed hat. After 1979, other colors have been added to the suites, although the masks are still mostly white, silver, and gold. In general, although each year the design of the suites are more creative and spectacular. In each group there is a varied number of characters, among which the highlights for their popularity are Lecchino, Pierrot, Bauta. It is complemented by a black tricorn, the sandal long satin tunic, and a long cape. Moreta, velvet oval black, which is the most traditional mask. Dottore Peste, an imitation of those used by Dr. White beside people affected by the plague.